Okay, the Duat versus Hades. Which underworld do you survive? So you wake up dead. I know that sounds crazy, right? And then before you, there's two gates. Now, one of them takes you off to the Duat. It looks all bright and lively. And the other one leads you to Hades, which you can see looks discernibly darker and kind of, more muted. We get that about you, right? So the Duat is filled with like divine gates, right? But also fire breathing guardians, some very hostile beings and entities, a bunch of secret names, supernatural trials, and judgment of your heart before Ausar. That's a lot going on there. But behind this, I think it's some good stuff. Now, with Hades, it's a whole different thing, man. It's a much calmer, colder world, right? All kind of gray. It's the river Styx. You got the river of death. You got Chiron. You got Cerberus is there. You got Hades and his super hot wife Persephone, who hopefully will be portrayed by Rosario Dawson. Maybe that was real. So the cool thing about Hades is that look, everybody can make it into Hades, right? But you ain't never gonna leave. So let's get into it with this one, right? So choose properly where you would survive. Now, we're gonna define surviving is I'm still the same entity. First, I successfully enter the realm. That's the first requirement. The second is that I survive its relative dangers, whatever they are, right? Third, any form of judgment I have to take, I'm able to successfully get through that judgment. That's going to be important. Also, I get to preserve my identity and my consciousness, which in some scenarios does not happen, right? So we got to be very specific about that. And then ultimately, I put myself in the best position overall to spend my afterlife. So these are the components of which is the underworld that I would survive the best. So let's talk about them. Let's take it from the top. Entering into the underworld. We start off by walking into the Duat. Because here's the thing with Duat, like death alone, just because I died doesn't mean I get to get into the Duat. Unfortunately, doesn't give me any understanding of what my journey is going to be inside the Duat, right? So I have to anticipate this, right? So here's what has to happen before I die, okay, or after I die, before I get here, right? You got to prepare my body. My body has to be prepared for coming into the afterlife. My name must remain known. I can't be like if I'm on the side of the road dead. That's really hard, right? If I don't get a funeral that says, "Yo, this is the homie right here. Please welcome him up to door." If I don't get any of that and they don't know who I am, this is very, very problematic for me right off the bat. Okay. Now, all my various spiritual components have to all be intact. The ka, the ba, the name, the real name. There's like 9 different things that I have to have in order. So I got to keep like a file folder so I can have all my stuff together, right? This is my name. This is my ba. Everything. I got everything here. Everything's in good order. So I'm going to have all that stuff even going down in there. We have to have funerary rites. We have to have offerings of protection. We have to have sacred knowledge that's going to allow me to get through this. So I got to grab my phone. I got my book of coming forth by day because that's what you're going to need. You're going to need the book of coming forth by day. I'm going to put it on my phone so I can be like, yeah, I need this spell, whatever. So it does take some maneuvering. I'm going to have to be ready for this, right? Now, as I move through this, I'm going to encounter all kinds of gates. And you know what they often put at gates is guardians, right? Yes, so there's a whole bunch of guardians, a whole bunch of supernatural beings who are going to demand that I know who they are, right? This is like Jeopardy in the underworld. You have to know who these people are because if you don't, they don't let you through. Like as simple as that. Like, hey, look, I died, man. I don't know your name. I'm sorry, but I'm dead. And they're like, yeah, well, try another gate, and you can try another game, but you better know their names. So this is divine name trivia. You have to master this. So your prepared soul can speak. If I'm ready, though, my soul can still speak with authority and continue forward if I know all these names, which I do not know right now, right? So this is but if it's an unprepared journey, you get there, imagine anywhere. You get there, you didn't bring anything that you need. You didn't even have shoes on. You had on flip flops because you walked out of the house in shorts, and now it's cold outside and you wish you had on boots, right? That's the problem. So always be prepared. Safety first, guys. You know I live by safety first. Now, I look at Hades and I'm like, you know what? It's a lot easier getting to Hades, man. It's a lot easier, but there would be a cost. One of my friends once told me, an East Coast buddy of mine said, when you're in the city, New York, right? When you're on the subway or not the subway, but whatever their freeway extension is, like It's free to go to New Jersey. It costs money to go to New York. That he told me that, and that settled the whole New Jersey, New York debate. No disrespect to New Jersey, okay? None at all. I love New Jersey Drive, right? But there's a cost of entry here. Like the getting into Hades, it's simpler. It's a lot less glamorous, right? It's a lot less glamorous. Yep, I'm probably gonna get to meet Hermes. Like if I'm cool, Hermes will be there. He's gonna guide me around. Charon transports dead across the river. Then there's Cerberus. I'm gonna have to watch him because I'm trying to run. I'm trying to get away. But if I feel like I can get away from Cerberus, I'm not gonna try it. Yeah, I do have to have a proper burial. That's very important. Like you can't in Greek traditions, an unburied soul, you can't cross properly and you're condemned for wandering the boundary for all time. So it's very important. Do me right, yeah? Do me right, okay? So, but I don't need an entire book of spells. I don't need all that stuff. I don't need a backpack full of books to go into Hades. I need it for the Duat, right? But maybe it's worth it, right? I need proper burial and I need my money, right? So when you bury me, make sure you put my coinage. I think they put over your eyes or under your tongue, something like that, over eyes or tongue. Make sure I got proper money, proper coinage to catch the bus that we call Charon to get me over this river. So I'm gonna need that right off the bat. But easy, like right off the bat, like the entry level for Hades, much easier. Actually, they win this round, right? I have to go. This is the easier route for getting in. Okay. Now, the second thing I gotta talk about is the environmental danger, which I'm gonna tell you right now, Duat, it's off the hook over here, man. There's danger all over the place. And I mean all over the place. We got serpents, hostile spirits, lakes, and regions of absolute fire. I have armed gatekeepers. I told you guys about these gatekeepers who don't be playing no nonsense. We have demonic beings. You could get decapitated or dismembered or face literal spiritual annihilation, right? These are the forces that, I'm dealing with the forces of Apep, which is the ender, the ultimate demon who will consume you. So I know all this stuff is going on, right? All these things are threats. I got to have everything in order. I got to have my sacred text. I got to have my knowledge in my noodle. I gotta have declarations and transformations that allow my soul to overcome any of these threats. The dead in this world can take on lots of forms, and invocation of divine protection would probably be crucial for getting through. So I need it. The Duat is dangerous, but it can be navigated if you use your noodle, right? Now, Hades, for the most part, Hades ain't really trying to kill you. Like the realm itself, it ain't really trying to kill you. Like it's really not. Like you're dead. They're like, yeah, you're dead. Come on in here, kick it with the rest of us, right? Like I understand the real dangers here are concentrated around containment and punishment if you deserve it. Not everybody's gonna get punishment. This is important to know. Like I said, Cerberus is there. He's a big dog. He's got 3 hairs. I'm probably not gonna try to run through that, right? But the rivers establish these supernatural boundaries. The fates, they're the ones who are going to punish people. But you know before you get there if you're going to be punished. Tartarus, man, that's like the triple max. So we got a lot going on in Hades, depending on where you end up. But the ordinary soul like me, I'm not getting attacked. I'm just fucking bored, right? I'm walking around this boring place because this is boring. It's great. And everybody here is great because all the good people got to go to Elysium. Now, so that round I also give to Hades. Now, round 3, the judgment. I'm sorry, guys. Now I have to get serious. This is important stuff. I can't spit out any misinformation when it comes to the judgment. In the Duat, you, me, everybody else is going to face what we call the weighing of the heart. This is where the Duat can become terrifying. So my heart is weighed against a feather of my eye. Is that the most ridiculous thing of all time? This is about principle of truth, justice, and cosmic order. And Jehudi records the results, right? So Jehudi's there. These are heavy hitters. Ausar, Ma'at, Jehudi, right? Anpu. And then we know that Ammit is there too, representing the I'm about to eat your ass up coalition. So this is what I got. And none of the stuff I didn't like is going to, it all matters, but I can't buy my way out of this one. My heart better rise over a feather. Man, you putting some pressure on me. But again, I feel like I can achieve that goal, right? Now in Hades, ain't really no judgment. Like your judgment comes in different ways, right? If you were like, it's different. Either it's Elysium or like if you weren't a great person, it ain't gonna matter, right? It's not gonna matter. It's gonna be easy to get in. There are some levels to it, but if you're not like a mythic hero, you ain't going nowhere. Your damn ass ain't gonna be nowhere but in regular ass Underworld with me over here, right? So in that regard, it's easier to get into Hades. I don't face the risk, so I guess they get that advantage. Now, this is important. The quality of said afterlife now matters. Because if I get to do it and I do the right things, man, I get to go to the Field of Reeds, man. Field of Reeds. You know what that's like? It's all reedy and it's like it's complete, right? It's a field. So this is the main place. And when I go here, this is like the ideal being dead world because it feels like it's just normal life and you just get to continue. You have more access to the the other dimensional world and the powers, but for the most part, like it's butter, baby. It's butter. Making it to Elysium is the ultimate come up of all time, right? This is always something really nice. Now with Hades, there's a couple of different levels. Now you can get to Elysium. There's also Tartarus. There's also like the Isle of the Blessed. Now, you ain't making it to the Isle of the Blessed, neither am I, right? Like that's exclusive right there, right? There's also Tartarus. I ain't going there. That's where all the punishment goes down, and I don't think I'll ever be worthy of that. I think I would know right now if I was going there. And then there's Elysium, which is the place for the favorite souls, where they get the afterlife. Now, we already know damn well that afterlife only exists if you're rich, right? Or, you're very prominent. You have to be a mythic hero to be able to go in this route. So being that I'm not a mythic hero right now, I'm not really going that route, right? So looking at them, yeah, you can go to regular ass Hades and it's just boring. That's the only thing is that it's boring and it's gray and nothing ever exciting ever comes down here, right? So that's the whole thing. Now, if I have to take it, all that stuff in sum total, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like the Duat is a whole lot better, man. It's a whole, like, I get it. It's tougher. But I think the reward warrants it. I think for what you end up out of Elysium, and it was like it's cool. Like you said, you live your whole life. Now you here, and let's make it happen. So this is how we make it happen. I feel like I've got a lot more control. Like I have a good heart, right? I really do. Like my heart's light. I feel like I passed that test. It might be a little worrisome. I'm not gonna lie. I might have a little anxiety, but overall, I don't feel like I'm really in jeopardy. So I would definitely pick the Duat. No disrespect to Hades. I love you, Persephone. That's a place that like it's just too boring and gray for me. So I'm seeking to get into the Duat, and I think I can make that happen. But let me know your thoughts on this, how you get through this personal judgment yourself.